So if you can't tell by the fact that I still have Halloween decorations in the background, it's kind of been a while since I've recorded a video. Hey friends, my name is Gabrielle, welcome to FrumiousReads, where I do actually post videos related to books. Here's why that hasn't been happening lately. I work at a school. Working at a school means that eventually I will get sick. I had been doing so well. It has been 3 months into the semester and I finally got sick and now I'm sad. But that means that I wasn't able to record really in-depth talkative videos because my voice was gone and I can't project it like how I am right now. Now I'm feeling well enough so that I feel like I can actually record a video. I got a haircut if you guys can't tell. So I want to do my November wrap-up. Now my November wrap-up is a little bit disappointing for me because I was not able to follow through with all my book a day challenges that I wanted to. I was still able to read a decent amount of books, so I'm going to go through and tell you guys what books those were real quick. You can find all the links for the books that I'm about to mention in the description below. One of the books I reread was Matowalk, Woman Who Cries, which I will be posting a separate review and author interview with Joylene Noel Butler because she is so cool and I got to interview her and see how, kind of talk to her about the process of writing Matowalk and her other books and just general writing advice that she can give to others. She's really nice. I'll leave all of her links in the description below. Be looking out for that review video coming out hopefully later on this week or beginning of next week at the very latest. Also, I read The Quest by Danny Hoots, which is a story about a girl who was abducted 11 years ago to be raised in the Emperor's regime as one of his prime assassins. 11 years later, she finds out that her brother, who she previously thought was dead, is not only alive, but part of a rebel alliance who is trying to take down the Emperor with the help of this long-lost planet that nobody really believes still exists called Sanshi. This entire book takes place in outer space. It's kind of like The Hunger Games meets Star Wars in a way. It reminded me a lot of Star Wars, so if you guys like Star Wars, then this is definitely a book that you guys should read. The next one will be Here There Be Dragons by James A. Owen. This book, I think I've mentioned it a couple times, but this is about 3 men who are strangers who are brought together by something called the Imaginarium Geographica, and they are now the caretakers for it. They have to protect it, and what this Geographica is basically a collection of all mythical and fantasy lands that have ever been created and put together in this one book, and they are now in charge of keeping it safe from the Winter King who wants to go through and completely annihilate all of the lands that exist. So it's really good. It's got an amazing twist, so many cool literary references. I was absolutely dying at the amazing world building and how just wonderful this book was. So you guys, it was honestly one of my favorites that I've read this year. The next one would be The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. This one is set in a future dystopian world where there is a certain sickness that is killing all of the children of a certain generation. Those who survive turn out to have some strange telepathic or some strange mental powers, and this one is told from the perspective of Ruby, who is one of the dangerous ones. She is level orange, which means that she can go ahead and implant thoughts, control what you're thinking, make you do certain things. She and some other kids end up escaping from the camp that they are sent to and fleeing to this supposed refugee camp, but it turns out that things there are not what they seem. It's a very interesting story. It's kind of different from other future dystopian books that I've read, but also I was not quite as impressed as I feel like I could have been when it came to this book, because there were some things that just weren't that original when it came to it, and many different plot twists that were kind of easy to call. Overall, I gave it about 3 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read was Rebel of the Sand by Alwyn Hamilton. This one is set in a desert nation called Miraji, and where mythical beasts and technology kind of all exist as one. This is told from the perspective of Amani, who is this amazing sharpshooter. She is looking for a way out of her dead-end town where her only choices are to end up married or dead, and she ends up running away with this rebel and becoming part of this movement that she didn't really know much about until she becomes a part of it accidentally. And it turns out there's some hidden things that she did not know about herself that she learns through being part of this rebel alliance. And it was really cool. I was not impressed with it at first. I was impressed by the synopsis. I was reading it a little bit disappointed. Halfway through the book, it starts picking up and I liked that. I think it's going to be part of a series. I really hope it is. If it's not, then I'm going to be kind of disappointed because it got really good at the end and then just kind of midway, it was kind of a struggle to get through. This was another 3 out of 5 stars for me. If it does have a sequel, I will be reading it because it was pretty good at the ending. The next book that I read was The Girl You Left Behind by Jojo Moyes. I was very surprised by how much I like this book. It's a historical fiction novel that bounces between World War I era and modern day times, and it's all surrounding this painting of this woman named Sophie that was trying to keep her family safe when her town falls to the German alliance, and she ends up making a really dark decision to save her family and to keep her husband safe. A century later, the same painting is undergoing a battle by Sophie's in-law family and this woman who just feels this complete and total connection to Sophie. So overall, I was very surprised by how much I liked it. I really love historical fiction novels in general, and this one just turned out to be one that I pleasantly enjoyed. I wasn't sure how I would feel about this because I know Jojo Moyes tends to write what she knows with romance, and I was really happy that it went so differently, that this was very different and separated itself from that book completely. This one was one that was 4 out of 5 stars for me. The next book that I read was one that I have been waiting for basically months and months and months, and that was Gemena by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. Oh my gosh, this book. Okay, this book I just had so many feelings about, and I was so surprised. I ended up hating it at first. I was so angry because I didn't realize that it was going to be told from a completely different set of characters in the beginning, and I was so angry because I was like, where are the characters I fell in love with? And then I sat down, I was like, I'm gonna read this because I loved Illuminate, and this book deserves at least a chance for me, and I ended up really liking it, so I basically freaked out for no reason. It continues from where we left off in the Illuminate files, but with a different set of characters and a whole different plot line that still actually connects back to the original plotline in Illuminate, and so that was really great and a way to keep the story going forward without us getting tired of the same kind of plot over and over and over again. I love this book. This was 5 out of 5 stars. Yes, I love it. I know there's so many people who don't like it. I don't care. This book was my favorite book. I just love it. I can't say anything bad about it. Don't expect a realistic review from me because I'm totally biased and 100% just on this book side. And the last book that I read this month, that would be Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. This book, I was not sure what to think of. I really like Six of Crows. I really like the multiple perspectives. I love the world building present in Leigh Bardugo's stories, and I've only ever read the Six of Crows series. I haven't read the Grisha trilogy, so I want to read the Grisha trilogy after reading this series because I just loved her storytelling and her writing style so much. I was wondering how they would take off after the ending of Six of Crows, and I feel like this book had a lot of endings really wrapped up nicely. It wasn't what I was expecting. The last one was all about the heist, and this one is about the aftermath of the heist, when the heist goes great, but the expectations you have completely fall through. It almost felt like there were too many different conflicts though, because I was reading it and I was getting tired of like, oh my god, like, do they not get a break yet? Are we not done yet? I'm only halfway through, and what is happening? It was both a good and a bad. It was good because it was like, okay, cool, it keeps you entertained the whole time, you don't get bored, but at the same time it's like, okay, I want to finish this book. I'm getting tired of reading this. Like, when is this going to end, you know? But I really love the style. I really love Leigh Bardugo's storytelling. All of the characters were just so amazing, and they all went through so much growth compared to the first novel. They really got fleshed out, and you ended up connecting with them in a different way than you would have expected. And those are all the books that I read in November, which I'm a little bit sad about. I wish I had read more, but just between my job and getting sick, I just didn't have time. So I'm hoping that in December I will be able to finish up my book a day challenge strong. I know it is the 6th of December and I've already read a couple books, so I'm hoping by the end of December I will have read the total amount of books for the number of days. That is all that I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching and for sticking through this long and ranty video. I haven't been posting many bookish videos, but I love books and books are still going to be my main thing on this channel. I will still be uploading bookish videos twice a week, so if you guys haven't subscribed, then you definitely should to keep up to date with that. If you guys haven't seen my latest video, then make sure you stick around because it will be playing right after this. But that's all I have for you guys today, so thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Okay, bye.
God, Neil Patrick Harris looks amazing.